Welcome back to Retired and Rewired, where we're proving that learning Spanish does not have an age limit. I am Anita, and I am 60 plus years old learning Spanish. I do know some. I describe my current Spanish as cave woman toddler, but I get my point across. Today, we're going to tackle some important things because when you get to Spanish speaking countries, you are going to want to eat the food. The food is absolutely, positively amazing. You're going to want to eat the food. You're going to want to drink the drink, not always cerveza. You're going to want some jugo. You're going to want some cafe. You're going to want some canela in your cafe. Okay, so let's get started with the vocabulary for today. One of the things I want to mention too, if you're in the United States, or if you go to a Spanish speaking country that caters to Americans, you're actually going to run into people that are not going to be comfortable speaking Spanish with you. Just so you know, it happens. You're going to be learning your new words, you're going to order in Spanish, and they're going to come back and answer you in English. Do not take it personal. What you need to say is, in order to get this not to happen, the one word you are going to learn is hablar, and that means to speak. You're going to say, puedo hablar español contigo. Can I speak Spanish with you? Puedo hablar español contigo. Or you can say, can I practice Spanish with you? Puedo practicar español contigo. Puedo practicar español contigo. Okay? All right. Now that we got that out of the way, you can probably order and they will answer you back in Spanish. If you're in a situation that you're not in further south in Latin America or South America where they're absolutely going to speak Spanish to you, you don't even have to ask. But if you're in places that they don't want you to feel uncomfortable and they start speaking English to you, you can use those two phrases and they work. Okay, let's start with an easy one. Necesito. Necesito. It means I need. You will also hear me say E, which is just a Y, and that means and. We'll talk more about that later. Quisiera is a polite way of saying I would like. Some people say quiero, but let's use quisiera because we have home training. Quisiera, I want or I would like. Quisiera. Okay, the other way that might be a little more comfortable for some of you is can I have? Puedo tener. Puedo tener. Puedo tener. Can I have? Okay, now that we got those words out of the way, those are things that you can use to ask for what you want. Let's go to our 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Desayuno, desayuno, desayuno is breakfast. Almuerzo, almuerzo, almuerzo is lunch. Cena, cena, cena is dinner. It is important that you speak these words out loud. That's why I'm saying it 3 times, so you can say it with me. Also, down in the bottom in the description, I will have notes that you can actually write on, repeat, say these things, so you, when you go to the restaurant, can order like a pro. And we want to order bebidas, which are drinks. Bebidas. It's going to sound like they're saying it with a V. I don't know how they do the BV thing, but it sounds like it's mostly bebidas than bebidas. It's weird. I'm not sure how to say it correctly, but they understand when I asking for a drink. For breakfast, we're still on breakfast. Let's talk about jugo, jugo, jugo. Those are juice. That's the word for juice. Those are amazing juices that we have. This morning I had jugo de naranja, jugo de naranja, jugo de naranja. That is orange juice. Naranja is the way you say orange in Spanish. And if you're in Spain, they'll say zumo, which is weird. Zumo, Zumo, which you're like, what? But anyway, if you decide to go to Madrid. Okay, so in Mexico, jugo verde is an amazing drink. Verde is green. Jugo verde is amazing. Jugo verde. Try it. You'll love it. Piña. I know y'all have had piña colados. You already know it's a pineapple. I don't have to talk about that. Piña. Yes. Fresas is watermelon. Yes, they have watermelon juice. Fresas. Fresas. And their watermelons have seeds. There won't be any seeds in the juice. They'll have seeds in the watermelons here that they grow. They get them out, strain it. It is so, so good. Sandia, sandia, sandia. That's strawberries. They're also very good here in season, and they will actually make juice out of them. So you'll have that in the morning for breakfast. It is wonderful. I would highly encourage you to try them all. Everybody knows agua. Everybody knows agua. What you may not know is what I did yesterday. I went to the store, La Tienda, and I bought agua mineral, is what it said on the, and I didn't understand that to mean con gas. So it's like carbonated water, con gas. And sometimes they'll ask you that when you order water. When you ask for water, they'll say con gas or sin gas. And you say sin gas if you want, regular water. But if you want con gas, then okay. Okay. The next one is food. The word for food is comida. You will see it on the menu. They do something now in restaurants that I'm not a fan of. You have to take pictures with your phone, a QR code, and get the menu. I don't like that. So I ask for a menu, el menú, por favor, and I get a written menu. On the menu, you will see huevos, which are eggs. Huevos, huevos. Say it with me, say it with me. Huevos. And some of you, I don't eat meat, so I don't order bacon, tocino, tocino, tocino. I have not, for those sausage eaters, I have not seen them say sausage like that. They usually say pork, which is cerda, cerda, cerda. I've seen that on the menu. Queso, 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 cheese. Tostada, 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 toast. That's obvious, almost. Carne. I know you've seen carne, which is meat, categorically. Because you'll see al pastor, which is carne, and I think they put another carne cerda, and there's another meat that they put in tacos al pastor, and I can't remember what it is because I don't eat. Vegetables is verduras, 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 and they have those, grilled or otherwise. So an example of a breakfast order: quisiera huevos con tocino y queso y tostada. You want eggs, you would like eggs with bacon and cheese and toast. Okay, I would highly encourage you, if you ever come to a Latin, it seems to be a Latin, not just Mexico. El menú del día, there's like 4 or 5 things that you get. Filling, a lot of food. You won't be able to eat it all, but it's kind of cool because you get a variety of stuff, right? Arroz, 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 I did it. It's rice con pollo, con pollo, con pollo, which is chicken. You see that a lot. Arroz con pollo is a lot on the menu. I don't think I've seen arroz con carne as much. I don't know. Maybe I have. I just don't pay attention. I don't eat that stuff. So potatoes are papas, papas, papas. Muy fácil. Very easy. Muy fácil. Avocado is aguacate, aguacate, aguacate. So it's like the agua, the water. Aguacate, don't know what that is, but aguacate is the word for avocado, which I like. The other one that oh, piece that's wonderful at dessert is postre. Me gusta. I like postre, postre, postre. Pastel is cake, and pastel, pastel. E. The other, which is my favorite, is cookies. Galletas, galletas, galletas. So when they have asked me if I want dessert, if they have pastel or galletas as a choice, I'll choose galletas. All right, let's talk utensils because we're not cave people. We don't eat with our fingers. Well, if we were Indian food, we would with injera, but I digress. Fork, tenedor, tenedor, tenedor is a fork. Knife, cuchillo, cuchillo, cuchillo. Spoon, cuchara, cuchara, cuchara. And this morning at breakfast, I had a little spoon that I used for my sugar to put into my tea. And I needed a bigger one because they gave me yogurt. So I asked for una cuchara grande, a bigger spoon. Grande is the word for big. Y'all know that because you do Starbucks. Y'all know that. Y'all know grande. So I got that. The other thing that you need because we wipe our mouths, servietta, servietta, servietta. That's a napkin. Okay. Seasonings, sal, sal, sal. I bet you know what that is. Salt. Pimienta, 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 pepper. Canela, canela, canela. That is cinnamon. And sometimes they put canela in your coffee, which tastes really good, by the way. When you're done with all this, you say la cuenta por favor. La cuenta por favor. La cuenta por favor. The bill, please. So when you're paying the bill, paga la cuenta. There's two ways to do it. Paga is pay. Paga la cuenta, pay the bill. Cash, el efectivo, el efectivo, el efectivo, or credit. La tarjeta de crédito. La tarjeta de crédito. La tarjeta de crédito. There's two la, tarjetas. One is débito, and one is crédito. They're going to ask you. So make sure you say crédito. Sometimes it's on the building, on the cash register where you can see it. Sometimes it's not. So you can ask them when you walk in if you don't have cash. ¿Aceptan tarjetas de crédito? ¿Aceptan tarjetas de crédito? Do you accept credit cards? And that way you'll know up front. I always have to ask when I go up front or initially when I go into a restaurant, if it's not a vegetarian restaurant, I have to ask and say, soy vegetariana. ¿Tienes la comida vegetariana? So I'll ask that question. La comida vegetariana. Do you have vegetarian food? And normally they offer me salad or they'll offer me grilled vegetables. Sometimes I've had really grilled vegetables and really good vegetable sandwiches. So I don't shy away from places because they're not vegetarian, because sometimes I've gotten some really, really good surprises. So we have learned how to order food in a Spanish speaking country. If you've already done this, drop a comment below and let me know what dish you'd love to try in a Spanish speaking country, or tell me what dish you've already tried in a Spanish speaking country, or on the menu if you want to be, if you're still in the US, you want to practice a little bit, you want to get a little out of your comfort zone and do more tacos and burritos, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like buttons for more Spanish lessons and cultural tips, Spanish cultural tips in ordering food. The other thing is in the next video, we're going to talk about directions because after you get to a Spanish speaking country and you walk out the door and you eat the wonderful food, you're going to want to know how to get to the restaurant, especially if you're in a hotel. You got to ask the question how to get places. When you leave the airport, you got to ask questions how to get to your hotel. In the next lesson, we'll talk about that. See you in the next video.